When the car accident occurred, Ethan and Emily were sitting side by side in the back seat. Sophia was in the front passenger seat. She was the daughter of an investor, with flowing wavy hair, and her eyes sparkled as she turned to talk to Ethan.
Ethan, did you hear the latest track from your studio? It's incredible.
Yeah, Sophia, we're really proud of it. Can't wait to see what you bring to the table with your voice.
Ethan and Emily had been in love for 7 years and married for 5. They started their own music studio together and had gained some recognition as music producers. Recently, Ethan had been getting close to Sophia. He told Emily it was to secure investments by keeping her happy, but Emily sensed something unusual about their relationship. Suddenly, the car in front of them swerved and crashed into them. Ethan lunged forward to shield Sophia in the passenger seat. The airbags deployed, and Sophia was unharmed under double protection. Meanwhile, shattered glass flew onto Ethan's head and Emily's body. By the time the ambulance arrived, Ethan was unconscious from a severe head injury. Emily lay amidst the wreckage, watching a trickle of blood flow down his pale forehead.
Ethan, what have you done?
After receiving treatment for her wounds, the doctor instructed Emily to lie flat on the hospital bed. She struggled to sit up and dragged her stand to Ethan's room. He was still unconscious, and Sophia was by his side.
Emily, I'm sorry.
Save it, Sophia. I know everything.
Emily picked up Ethan's phone. The screen was cracked, but it still turned on. The passcode was her birthday. Realizing what she was about to do, Sophia tried to snatch the phone from her. Emily gave her a cold look, and she backed off.
Let's see what he was hiding.
Emily found their chat history. The accident happened at 9:33 p.m., and they were still chatting at 9:31 p.m.
Ethan, I really like you.
I like you too.
Aren't you afraid Emily will find out?
That's what makes it exciting, isn't it?
As Emily scrolled further back, she saw more romantic messages expressing their mutual affection. While she was at the emergency room with a fever in the middle of the night. While they attended award ceremonies together. While they had dinner at his parents' house on New Year's Eve. While she made a wish blowing out candles on her 28th birthday.
Ethan, how could you?
Ethan had been unfaithful for a long time.
31 p.m., Ethan and the mystery woman's conversation took a revealing turn.
Excited, I like you too.
Aren't you afraid Emily will find out?
Cheerful, that's what makes it exciting, isn't it?
As I scrolled further back, I saw more romantic messages expressing their mutual affection. Ethan had been unfaithful for a long time, even when I was at the emergency room with a fever, during award ceremonies, New Year's dinners at his parents' house, and even while I was blowing out candles on my 28th birthday.
You have excellent taste. Another gentleman was just looking at this Omega watch.
I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I've loved watches since college. Back then, I vowed to collect all the luxury brands. Ethan would laugh with me and promise to make lots of money to help me fulfill that dream. Now, I realize those were empty promises. Relying on myself is the only way. I swiped my credit card and headed straight to the revolving restaurant on the top floor of the city center. The prices here were steep, but I wanted to enjoy it alone. Looking out at the city's sea of lights through the floor-to-ceiling windows, I felt both expansive and melancholic. I thought about my family. My parents divorced when I was young, each starting new families and having new children. Since middle school, I always stayed in the dorms, feeling like I had no home to return to. Later, I met Ethan, fell in love, and thought I had finally found a home in this vast world. Now, it all seems like a mirage. I wanted to cry, so I quickly took a gulp of red wine, opened the watch box, and desperately admired my collection. If I couldn't find fulfillment in love, at least I had material things, right? The watch in the box had a starry gray dial, blue hands, and a snow mountain silver snakeskin strap. It was elegant and simple, without a tourbillon or perpetual calendar. But just as I was indulging in my solitary admiration, someone interrupted me. Olivia appeared at my table. She used to be so arrogant, always bossing me around as a music producer because she had powerful backers.
Sophia, this watch looks familiar. My boyfriend was eyeing it this morning but didn't get a chance to reserve it. How much did you pay? I'll buy it from you at the same price.
Oh my, how shameless!
Sure, but first, sing the original version of Clear Song for me.
Clear Song was a piece I produced for her, inspired by Jiangnan folk songs, with the essence of an orchid blooms in the courtyard, waiting for the clear breeze. I had traveled to Jiangsu and Zhejiang for inspiration, but Olivia turned it into a DJ track and won a music festival award.
You want me to sing it now?
Yes, right now. Sing it.
I put down my knife and fork, leaned back comfortably in my chair, like a patron in a pleasure house. The restaurant was elegant, with other diners dressed in finery, quietly enjoying their meals.
You want to humiliate me? Why? Who gives you the confidence? Do you even know who my boyfriend is?
Your boyfriend? Nathan? He told me he broke up with you.
I shrugged nonchalantly. Sure enough, Olivia was furious.
How do you know that? Are you? I get it. You want to seduce him, don't you? You bought the watch he likes on purpose.
Oh my God, what nonsense is in her head?
Just because you're a gold digger doesn't mean everyone else is as filthy as you. Let me tell you, I don't care about what you desire. Nathan means nothing to me.
I hated them, Sophia and Nathan. Thinking about that night in the hospital garden when Nathan warned me not to compete with Sophia for a man made me sick. Why did they think they had the right to destroy ordinary people's lives and trample on genuine feelings just because they had power and influence? Before I could finish my thought, a clear, pleasant voice came from not far away.
I mean nothing to you?
The accident happened at 9:33 p.m., yet their chat history continued until 9:31 p.m.
I really like you.
I like you too. Aren't you afraid Emily will find out?
That's what makes it exciting, isn't it?
As I scrolled further back, I saw more romantic messages, expressing their mutual affection. These exchanges happened while I was at the emergency room with a fever in the middle of the night, during award ceremonies we attended together, at his parents' house on New Year's Eve, and even as I made a wish blowing out candles on my 28th birthday. Ethan had been unfaithful for a long time. The accident happened at 9:33 p.m. But their chat history showed they were still talking at 9:31 p.m.
I really like you.
I like you too. Aren't you afraid Emily will find out?
That's what makes it thrilling, isn't it?
As I scrolled further back, I saw more messages filled with romantic words, their affection evident. While I was at the emergency room, battling a high fever in the middle of the night. While we attended awards ceremonies together. While we had dinner at his parents' house on New Year's Eve. While I made a wish blowing out candles on my 28th birthday. Ethan had been unfaithful for a long time. No, I refused. Rainy Lotus Pond was a painting I fell in love with at first sight. I didn't want to sell it.
2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million. Do you really like that painting? I don't believe you have such taste.
His words infuriated me. I turned and asked, "What gives you the right to judge my taste?"
With all due respect, your composition Gentle Melody sounds like a cheap DJ track.
I couldn't help but burst into laughter at his comment. It hit my funny bone unexpectedly. I often described Olivia's remix of Gentle Melody as sounding like a DJ track. But everyone around me thought it sounded great, even better than my original version, including Ethan. Perhaps it was some psychological effect, but seeing me laugh in the tense atmosphere, Nathan couldn't help but laugh too. We stood there, laughing together in the green, rain-soaked scene.
If you think it's so bad, why did you help her win the music festival award?
Olivia's first version was quite good. Who knew it would get worse with each revision? When I asked her what happened, she said it was all your changes.
Olivia was lying, but I couldn't be bothered to explain. The rain was getting heavier, and I wanted to find shelter quickly. I ran into a newly opened art gallery nearby. To my surprise, Nathan followed me inside.
What do you want? I already said I wouldn't sell Rainy Lotus Pond. Do you have to buy it no matter what?
What do you mean? This is my friend's gallery. Why can't I come in?
I turned away and ignored him, quietly looking at the paintings. But the quality of the collection in this gallery was disappointing, just a bunch of uninspired works. I couldn't help but think maliciously that perhaps Nathan's friend who owned the gallery was just another person he had promoted, like Olivia. At that moment, I received an email. It was from a senior music producer, inviting me to Mongolia to produce music. Yes. This was an opportunity one had longed for. Despite the harsh conditions, I really wanted to go. Good news lifted my spirits, and when I looked up again, even the paintings around me seemed more pleasing. Especially the 5-piece series in the corner. Upon closer inspection, I couldn't help but praise them.
Not bad. These are the most valuable pieces in the entire gallery.
Are you sure?
I had already imagined the story. These paintings must be the work of a talented young artist. But the young artist had no background, no one to promote them, and no chance to become famous. Their works were placed in a small corner, unnoticed by those who fancied themselves as having good taste, like Nathan. Feeling good, I decided to lavish praise on these paintings to deflate Nathan's ego.
This artist has synesthesia, much like the Lithuanian genius Michaelogis Konstantinas Sirleonis, who was both a painter and a musician. The paintings are full of rhythm. For example, the one in the upper left, with its dark blue water, cool and flavorful, gradually widening, making the viewer hear Chopin's Nocturne in B-flat minor. The one in the lower right, with a girl in a purple dress behind a veil of pale gold, the castle in the background, the folds of her dress resembling Ravel's pavane for a dead princess. The one in the middle is my favorite, like Debussy's Jimbo's Lullaby from the Children's Corner Suite, with a little gray elephant dancing.
I went on, showing off, and when I looked at Nathan again, his expression had become increasingly complex. He seemed surprised, delighted, and yet disbelieving.
Sophia, are you serious?
What's wrong? Had I gone too far, making him think I was crazy?
It's like you're living in my mind, thinking exactly what I'm thinking.
I grew more confused until he said,
These are my paintings.
I found their chat history. The accident happened at 9:33 p.m., and they were still chatting at 9:31 p.m.
I really like you.
I like you too. Aren't you afraid Emily will find out?
That's what makes it exciting, isn't it?
As I scrolled further back, I saw more romantic messages expressing their mutual affection. While I was at the emergency room with a fever in the middle of the night. While we attended awards ceremonies together. While we had dinner at his parents' house on New Year's Eve. While I made a wish blowing out candles on my 28th birthday. Ethan had been unfaithful for a long time. Probably angered by my sudden cold attitude, Nathan didn't follow me. The spring night was still chilly, and I wrapped my coat tighter, quickening my pace towards the hotel. As I passed a dimly lit corner by a convenience store, a few people suddenly jumped out, covering my mouth and dragging me into an alley. Everything happened too fast. Before I could scream for help, a cold blade was already pressed against my neck.
Don't go near Nathan again, got it? Or else.
I nodded frantically, but they didn't let me go. I heard them whispering.
Teach her a lesson, make sure she remembers.
They started to touch my clothes, and I struggled desperately, a scream escaping my throat. Suddenly, a figure rushed into the alley.
Let her go!
It was Nathan's voice. He punched the guy threatening me with the knife, quickly subduing him, and used the man's belt to whip the others. One of them tried to run, but Nathan caught him by the neck with the belt, slamming his head against the wall.
Who said you? Speak!
I'll talk. It was Henry.
Henry was Olivia's manager. I was both shocked and furious. Olivia had gone too far, once looking down on me, now sending people to harm me. Nathan beat those thugs with just a belt, like taming wild beasts, his movements both elegant and ruthless. Blood droplets flew with the belt, and when he occasionally turned his head, his face was half lit by the streetlight, his eyes sharp as lightning. Those men wailed in pain, clearly aware of Nathan's identity and not daring to truly harm him. After Nathan finished venting his anger and threw away the belt, they scrambled to get up and leave.
No need to call the police. I'll have someone deal with them.
He led me out of the alley, all the way to the main road, where the city's skyscrapers glittered in the distance, the night scene dazzling. Cold sweat still clung to my back as I hurriedly shook off his hand at the subway entrance. Let's not see each other again. He was someone I couldn't afford to provoke. Today it was Olivia, tomorrow it might be someone else. I didn't want to become anyone's target. Unexpectedly, a week later, I met Nathan again. On a flight to Hohhot. For the first time, I had bought a first-class ticket for myself, wanting to enjoy it, only to turn and see him as soon as I sat down.
What a coincidence!
I didn't think it was a coincidence at all, especially when I saw his car following mine as I drove from the airport to Shilin-Gol. What do you want? I knocked on his car window.
I'm here to gather inspiration for my art. What about you?
I had come to Mongolia for work, to study the nearly lost art of throat singing. Throat singing is a unique vocal art of the Mongolian people, using special techniques to produce two simultaneous tones. A continuous low tone and a floating melody merge into a multi-voiced form of singing. Nathan followed me at a distance. I searched the Shilin-Gol grasslands for native performers of throat singing, while Nathan wandered around, writing and sketching. To my disappointment, many places on the grasslands had become commercialized, losing their original simplicity. It wasn't hard to find Mongolians who could throat sing, but I couldn't find the kind I had in mind.
Actually, it's just a matter of asking. Whatever you need, I can help you get it.
You want me to beg you?
No, I just want you to see me as an equal, not an enemy. The colder you treat me, the more it shows you're hiding something, doesn't it?
I was stunned. Yes, I admitted I was afraid. The romance novels I had read growing up were singing their siren songs. His charming eyes looked at me as if, once I allowed myself to fall, I would be swept into a dreamlike relationship. No need, just mind your own business. I shouldered my bag and continued my search.
All right, consider it a good deed. Listen to this.
He played a recording of a throat-singing performance from 10 years ago, recorded in Gol by some musicians. As soon as the sound came out, I knew this was what I had been looking for. Unfortunately, the recording equipment wasn't good enough, and the sound quality was poor.
The singer's name is Aiden. I've already found his current address.
Nathan drove me there. With an off-road vehicle leading the way and several cars following, I witnessed Nathan's influence firsthand. But when we arrived near Aiden's yurt, he rode away on horseback. Ridiculous, he didn't want to sing. The accident happened at 9:33 p.m., and Ethan and Sophia were still chatting at 9:31 p.m.
Ethan, I really like you.
I like you too.
Aren't you afraid Emily will find out?
That's what makes it thrilling, isn't it?
I scrolled further back, uncovering more affectionate messages. They were still flirting while I was in the emergency room. During our award ceremonies. At his parents' house on New Year's Eve. Even on my 28th birthday as I made my wish.
Then had been unfaithful for a long time.
I found their chat history. The accident happened at 9:33 p.m., and they were still chatting at 9:31 p.m.
I really like you.
I like you too. Aren't you afraid Emily will find out?
That's what makes it exciting, isn't it?
As I scrolled further back, I saw more romantic messages, expressing their mutual affection. While I was at the emergency room with a fever in the middle of the night. While we attended award ceremonies together. While we had dinner at his parents' house on New Year's Eve. While I made a wish blowing out candles on my 28th birthday. Ethan had been unfaithful for a long time. I discovered their chat history. The accident occurred at 9:33 p.m., and they were still chatting at 9:31 p.m.
Ethan, I really like you.
I like you too.
Aren't you afraid Emily will find out?
That's what makes it thrilling, isn't it?
As I scrolled further back, I saw more romantic messages, expressing their mutual affection. While I was at the emergency room with a fever in the middle of the night. While we attended award ceremonies together. While we had dinner at his parents' house on New Year's Eve. While I made a wish blowing out candles on my 28th birthday. Ethan had been unfaithful for a long time. The accident happened at 9:33 p.m., and they were still chatting at 9:31 p.m. I found their chat history.
I really like you.
I like you too. Aren't you afraid Emily will find out?
That's what makes it exciting, isn't it?
As I scrolled further back, I saw more romantic messages, expressing their mutual affection. While I was at the emergency room with a fever in the middle of the night. While we attended award ceremonies together. While we had dinner at his parents' house on New Year's Eve. While I made a wish blowing out candles on my 28th birthday. Ethan had been unfaithful for a long time.